Hey there internet, Thomas here. So if you clicked on this video, you are probably either interested in what an electric vehicle is, sort of the benefits of owning an electric vehicle, and with that being cost savings and just overall interest on what these are, and how these are shaping changes within our lives every single day. So I'm out in the Peak District at the moment. It's not too far from home, and basically the UK is in lockdown at the moment. So as we all know, we've got plenty of time on our hands, and it's been a video I've been wanting to do for a very long time. But I wanted to, number one, get a winter out of the way of using the scooter, and also rack up some more mileage and basically get more to grips with the scooter before doing a real in-depth review. As I said, there's a lot I want to talk about and get stuck in with. So about 6 months ago, I bought an electric scooter, and after a lot of research, went for a company called NIU, NIU, that's spelled. So that's a Chinese company and a Chinese bike. So they're very big in Europe. Obviously the UK, we're still lagging a little bit behind, but we're catching up slowly each passing month basically. And this scooter this scooter's massive. They've been around for many years in China. Electric is far ahead in China than it is anywhere else in the world, and this is something that they do very, very well. So turn the scooter on, you hit the ignition key to the on side, then the dash will boot up. So as you can see, you've got your battery level, that's combined between the two batteries. You've also got different riding modes. So as standard, the scooter turns on dynamic, and by toggling this button here, you can change between your power modes. So it always starts on dynamic. You've got e-save, which up to about 17 miles an hour. Never really use e-save at all. For now, we've got a little bit more of a distance, I'll use dynamic when needed. So that goes up to 30 miles an hour. So that would do me through all of the town areas. And then you push it up into sport mode. Then you've got your sport modes, and sport mode basically takes you up to your full 50 miles an hour. That's your full amount, your full acceleration, full power, and I would use it in sport mode pretty much all the time. And that's obviously why I have a cut on my total battery mileage, but the roads I use require that. So you've got your high beam and low beam here. I personally always just keep my high beam on, I don't mess around with that. You've got your indicators here. So one nice little things about the news is that you can change the sound of the indicators. It's the sound I've opted for. And again, you've got hazards here as well. So one of the nice little technology features of these new electric scooters is they have cruise control, auto cancel indicators, and they also have a full app GPS tracking alarm system as well. I'm going to go into the theft section later on. As I say, to activate the scooter and to turn it on, basically push the screen button here, and you'll have a ready light come on. Now that the ready light's on, the scooter's now live. So you can see here, a bit of throttle. The scooter accelerates all the way up to its top speed. And if we put it into dynamic, keep it at a reasonable speed. So it has a speed of 29 miles an hour there. If you hit this grey button, then activate the cruise control. And as you can see here, the scooter's now in cruise. So this will forever continue in this mode until you either touch the throttle or either of the brakes. So if we just tap the brake there, that cancelled the cruise control. So cruise control is a feature that I use pretty much all the time, whether that crossing over Snake Pass, which is my main route. It's a long 50-mile-an-hour road. I always put it into its top mode, hit the cruise control and let the scooter do the work really. As I was mentioning, the auto cancel indicators are a fantastic little feature. It just takes your mind off it. This really is designed for either first-time riders. One of the main things with news is there's a lot of people that buy them aren't bikers or your normal traditional motorcyclists at all. They're everyday people that either looking for electric vehicle for an environmental purpose, for financial purpose, because of the affordability and low running costs to them. A lot of people want them for getting to work and back, and younger people can use them for getting to college and back, avoiding public transport basically. Gives you full access to your city or local area basically. Popping the latch on the seat here, this is how you access your batteries. So you turn the key to the left, you pop the seat up. So under here we have one of the batteries, and then by turning the key here we unlock the floorboard, which accesses the secondary battery. So now these batteries both work together in parallel, and what that means is that obviously you get quite a large range. So on paper you're looking at about 60 miles, maybe a bit more. Because I am out in the Peak District, and it's extremely hilly around here, I actually end up getting around about 45 to 50 miles on a charge. To put that into context, my daily commute is actually about 27 miles. So I can, basically if I charge up on the other side, I'm comfortable to get back, but I can get to work and back just about. I can get to work just about on a full charge. But yeah, as I say, the batteries are easily removed. Remove the batteries. We simply remove the plug here and lift the battery out. So this is 10 kilograms, one of these batteries. As you can see, it's extremely manageable and easy. It's got these really sturdy rubber handles. It also comes with a indicator here, so if I'm away from the scooter, these little LED bars tell me how much power I've got left. And to reconnect the battery, simply just plug it in there. Now you can also charge the scooter from the mains, and you do that by lifting this plug up here and charging the scooter directly by putting your plug in and running your cable out through this side here. You can put it out anyway, but that's where the groove is set into the scooter. And charge time's around about 3.5 to 4.5 hours depending, from empty. Top up charges when I get to work, it takes about 2 hours and I'm good to go again, because I'm only using around about half my battery. So this is the charging setup on my new electric scooter. So it's a 3-pin plug that runs down to the charger, and this goes down to the split charger. So I can use this charger and plug it directly into the scooter, or it can go into the dual charger and simply just plug it in. That they then go red, and then the batteries are charging up. So again, we have the indicator here, and that tells me the level of the battery. These are both fully charged at the moment, and they're ready to be put into the scooter in the morning to take me to work or wherever I'm going. Close the seat, super simple. Just put the seat down like that. So you've got these grab rails on the back, which are for pillions, and to take the pegs out, you simply just push them in, they pop out, and just gently return them back into place. One of the most invaluable things on the NGT, which I use pretty much every single day, is this storage compartment box here. So normally I would carry my lock, my main shackle lock in there, which is alarmed. So that is really valuable. The other thing I use pretty much most days is also the hook here. That holds my rucksack, holds my helmet normally. If I'm out and about in town, I can put the helmet onto there and secure a lock through under the seat. Also comes with a USB charger up here, so you basically just pop the cap off, and it's a two-way charger, so you can put your plug in either side. There's no fixed way for that to go in there. So the News powers by a 3,500 watt brushless Bosch motor. So the official horsepower is around about 2 horsepower, which is super low. But with electric, you don't work in horsepower, you work in torque factor. So this is around about 110 newton meters of torque, which means it absolutely pulls off faster than most vehicles on the road, up to around about 40 miles an hour. You're well ahead of the game on that. So if we slow that most down, so one of the nice things about the News as well is they also have regenerative braking. So you would have just seen that little light come up there. When the scooter's actually loaded and on the road, actually got momentum behind it, it turns its kinetic energy into electrical energy through regeneration in the Bosch motor, and cycles that power back through into your batteries, which helps extend your range. Again, that is power that's already been used and put through, so basically it's just putting a nice little extension on there over time. So this is what the motor looks like. So on the back here you can see we've got a disc brake on the rear. That's a titanium alloy swing arm there as well. So it's super light, really strong. And again, moving around on this side, got that Bosch motor, so there you go. I think the beauty of it is really the simplicity of the whole scooter as a whole. So they use Panasonic 18650 lithium ion batteries, has around about 160 cells per battery. So again, a lot of questions is, battery life on electric vehicles, what's all that about? So these cells that are manufactured by Panasonic in Japan are the same cells that go into your Tesla cars, and they're the same cells that go into your Toyota hybrids. So they're very well tried and tested. This technology has been around for about 15 years, if not a little bit longer, and it's finally made its way down to electric vehicles. Obviously it is using the newest generation of Panasonic cells, and these will be good for around about 10 to 15 years comfortably in a vehicle use, and after that the cells will be able to be upcycled into static storage units for storing electrical power for the grid, for households, for solar systems, and much more. So one of the other things is when I bought the scooter, I bought it through something called an Indiegogo campaign. It's something new was running when the NGT first came out. And basically I put down a £100 deposit online, and I managed to accumulate quite a few €100, that works out in euros, off the scooter. And I got loads of little goodies with it. So I got like a backrest, leg cover, a few other little bits, and obviously pre-order preference on it. So I was one of the first people to get their new NGTs when they first came out. Now these are the largest selling electric scooter in Europe, and again, they're just overall a fantastic piece of kit. I wouldn't be able to go back to not having it and not owning this electric scooter. Again, I've done a lot of research, and there's a lot of ways that an electric vehicle benefits your life without you wouldn't really consider, to be honest with you. Again, I think the financial freedom of owning one is fantastic. I mean, to me it doesn't make logical sense to go to work before I start my day to spend what works out about 15% of my daily wage was just on getting to work and parking, just before I even start the day. It's just not feasible, plus the running costs of the car and everything like that. I mean, I'll be totally honest, it's not all glamorous shooting over the Pennines. This is designed for city use. It's what they market it for. I'm taking this over a route called Snake Pass through the Peak District, which is number one of the nicest roads in the UK, but it's also one of the most hazardous. And this time of year it's fantastic, it's lovely, it's pretty much always dry, nice and warm. It's a really nice scenic route. But in the winter, it's cold, real heavy winds. It's a bit treacherous to be honest, and it's quite often snow showers. So I'd leave work in Sheffield, it'd be nice and clear. I could get into the peaks, into the Pennines, and it'd be either snowing, blizzards. I've got some pictures I'll upload on here and some videos of me going through that. So it's swings and roundabouts, and obviously the next 6 months plain sailing, nice and happy. So some nice little bits I would change on the scooter would be the tyres. Now, as standard through spring, summer, autumn, they're okay, they're fine. Summer they're brilliant, but as soon as real icy cold, low temperature weather comes in, they ideally need replacing. NIU's aware of the situation, and they've actually got a real nice little setup on their website which lists all high-spec manufactured tyres, and whether they fit the scooter, each model broken down with the wheel sizes, tyre sizes, so new customers can jump on and pretty much at a glance look at what is recommended. So I'll put a link to that in the description, you can check that out. So yeah, just going over tyre tread actually. So up front here, obviously I've got buckets of tread on this. You can see the wear line is miles away, and you can see the thickness of the tread on the sides. Now if we jump on the rear, I guess the downside would be, it's not even a downside really on something like this, is with electric, is you will go through tyres quite a bit quicker. And you can see through the centre there, my tread is wearing quite quickly in comparison to what it was on the side, and that is because you've got that electric motor. It's instant power, instant torque. There's no build up. So as soon as you pull off the line, it all changes with your own riding style. I'm very quick off the line, very hard on the brakes. That's just what I prefer to ride like, and that's why stuff like my tyre is going to wear through pretty quickly. But the other area I'm saving is on brakes. So because it's electric, and it has a three-way braking system, an internal combustion engine only uses its brake calipers, and a typical scooter will only ever use its normal brakes, so front brake, rear brake. But with the NIUs, they have front brake, rear brake, and a combined braking system. So if you apply the rear, it applies the front, which offers a much easier and better braking system. And it also has an EBR, which is electronic brake regeneration system, as mentioned earlier. But so you've got 3 points of braking with a NIU, and that offers stopping distance almost half as quick compared to an equivalent petrol. So for general road use, it's a much safer. A lot of other questions I have from people is what's it actually like to use with with it being quiet, with it being electric, and I love it. I really love it. I wouldn't go back. I don't want a petrol engine again. It's just the riding experience is sublime compared to it. This is super smooth. It's fantastic, and it's actually really nice to silence. All you can hear is the wind, and I used to wear headphones a lot when I used to ride on my motorcycles, and all the time. And on the NIU, I tend not to. I like to enjoy it. I mean, so we're out in the Peak District at the moment, and you can hear the helicopter and the birds and everything else around you, and you can hear that when riding, which is really nice. It's not something you could ever experience. So the area you're going out to enjoy, it just brings another depth of experience to the whole ride out that you're going for. Again, just giving it a walk around. So I wanted to go into the bike theft side of things. So this has an alarm system and a GPS tracker, which we'll go over now. So to set the alarm, turn the scooter off, and we hit this lock button here. So the scooter's now armed, and just give it a few seconds. So if we attempt to take the scooter, it's going to set the alarm off, and it will ping my phone and tell me that the alarm's been set off, and basically send a warning to me to go check the scooter. And also comes with full GPS tracking. But going back through winter, I also need that leg cover, and I'll be updating the tyres to Michelin City Grips. I've had them on previous scooters, are absolutely fantastic. So that is one of the main upgrades I'll make to the scooter. And also, as standard in Europe, it comes with quite a bulky tailpiece. I'll attach a picture now. Has a European plate with an adapter to UK plate. And one thing I've done is disconnected the lights, the whole plate, basically took it all out and just put a single plate, fixed the plate directly to the back of the scooter, so it really tidies that back end up on there. So I think that pretty much wraps it up. If you have any questions, please drop them in the comments below, and I'll be happy to answer them. And if you want a second video with more of a actual breakdown and more information on it, again, I'd be happy to do that. And I just can't rate these enough. It's just the ability, and it's built for the city, and it conquers Peak District and Pennines trails every day, whether it's snow or ice or baking hot summer's day, which is not the intended use of this scooter at all. I wanted to really abuse it and put it through its paces, and it's been absolutely faultless. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope it was informative, and yeah, I'll speak to you soon. Thanks a lot for watching.